This is Advent of Code, day number 20. And as you can see, there's been a considerable drop-off in the number of completions. About half of the people who finished day 18 didn't finish day 19, and about another, time over. We've dropped 16,000 people in 2 days, which is... I think Eric turned up the difficulty dial a wee bit. So I'm hoping tonight's going to be quick because I would like to, go and spend time with my partners. But we'll see. We'll see what the puzzle looks like when it unlocks in 2 minutes. I've gone ahead and taken the liberty of creating my puzzle file, and that is ready to go for when I need it. And I'll also make an input file, and we're ready to go. I did stream finishing day 20 or day 19 earlier today, so have a look at that if you're curious how I solved it. I actually wasn't that far off yesterday when I attempted it. I was about maybe an hour of effort off, but that was an hour of sleep that I definitely needed, so I'm glad I made the decision to go and take a break. And yeah, it basically turned out I was missing a particular aspect of matrix arithmetic and inversion. But I figured it out, I got the puzzle working, and all was well. Cool. So yeah, we'll see what day 20 is like. It is a weekday technically, but I know many people have this week off, so we'll see what happens with regards to the puzzle difficulty. Hopefully it's basically 1 hour puzzles for the rest of this week would be nice, but no, we'll see. And as Eric likes to say, the difficulty varies from person to person. Hi, Viwu. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Nine. Hey, Narf. Yes, I had fun with 19 once I figured out what my problem was. Before that, it was a little bit of hair tearing to figure out what I was missing, but once I figured it out, it's no big deal. I was able to progress. It's just that 19 is very unforgiving because it's hard to tell... 19, it was hard to tell whether you were making progress or not, because you would have subtle bugs that popped up anywhere. It was not nearly as incremental as day 18 was. You wrote a rotate function? Huh, interesting. I didn't. Take a look at my solution. You might be surprised, View. I'm sure we can learn a lot from each other's solutions. Yeah, part one was the entirety of it. Let's see, I should probably turn down the volume on my music so I can actually vaguely hear things. There we go. Cool. All right. We have about 30 seconds until the puzzle unlocks. And I'll go ahead and pull up my Advent of Code repo as well. And we'll get started. Good luck, Viwu. I'll see you on the other side. I'm listening to instrumental Christmas music on blast on my headphones. But for copyright reasons, I cannot share it with you all. You'll just have to use your imaginations. It's definitely getting down to the last 6 days. Yep, see you later, Nerf. All right. What the heck? Oh, okay. Okay, this is just a recursive state machine. Okay, that took me a second to understand. I was like, oh no, was this the sea monster problem again? Because I will throw things if this is a sea monster problem again, but this is not. Okay, great. Cool. Okay. Okay, I know how to do this. This is doable. Okay. So we need basically to this first line, is this indeed one line? Let me just, yeah, it's one line. Great. Okay. So this is going to be lines 2 onwards, and we have key is going to be split line 0. For I, C in range key. Actually, we can just do it this way. All right. switch C, case dot, case hash, and default. Okay. C monsters, yes, for those maniacs who are using the C programming language. You would think that a nautical-themed puzzle might have a shout-out to last year's sea monster puzzle. Okay, okay, so I read in order. And it's just every 9 bits. Okay, so this is 0 through... yeah. The other thing I know I'm going to want is a type chord struct, the usual with x, y. Okay. So I'm still not sure I understand what this algorithm is doing. What does 34 mean? Right. Oh, it's long enough to match every possible 9-digit number. So in the middle of this first group of characters, the character at index 34 can be found. Where's 34 come from, though? That's what I'm not sure. Oh, I see. Okay, so I convert this binary number to a to a integer, and then I use that integer to sub-index into the array. Okay, now I understand. Okay, great. That was what I was taking to understand. This is just a reading comprehension problem. Okay, great. So this is going to be a 512 bool. Okay, key I equals true. Key I is false. Okay, that's simple enough. And then now we parse the input. So this is going to be the x coordinate and the y coordinate. This is just the line. So the same as before. Okay, this is, at least unless part 2 is a whammy, this shouldn't be that long. This feels like a 20-minute problem roughly. Watch me eat my words later. Map from pair to bool. Values x, y equals false, otherwise equals true, otherwise we have a parse problem. Okay, let's just try running that and just make sure that that's okay. This feels like a 20-minute problem because I have literally seen a version of this problem in previous Advent of Codes. Like, it is possible there will be a monkey wrench in Part B, but Part A feels like I can probably get this done in the next 10 minutes, you know. I am... It is also possible that I could just, you know, scupper it up like that. That is also possible. Oh wait, this is not actually that. That's going to be chord x comma y. And that's also chord x comma y. Like, I've been overconfident before, but like, okay, good. So I've got my 10 by 10. Okay. So now we apply the image enhancement. So each pixel in the output. Okay. So let's go ahead and define a type as well. And let's switch this to make a grid. And then we'll want to define the accessor for the grid. So let's see. If I enhance, what happens if I'm in a corner though? A9, you really are going to make me eat my words? Like, fine. Center of the output image should be a light pixel. Okay. So apply the image enhancement to every pixel. Okay. Okay, dark pixels extend forever, and dark pixels always transform to dark. Therefore, I only need to consider the pixels that are... I only need to consider everything that is within... I only need to expand my search space by a limit of 2. Okay, so in search is going to be... At first, it's going to be... This is the mythical programmers month, right? Like, okay, this printed out, what, 100? Yes, it's 100 by 100, so that's fine. And I need to run the... Oh, I only need to run the image enhancement algorithm twice? That's not so bad. Okay. All right, so at worst I can... All right, yeah, I understand this. Okay. Values equals grid. We'll call this tick. And that outputs another grid. And then here we just need to know how many pixels are lit in the resulting image. So I don't actually need to set the falses, or at least not for this case. I just wanted to make sure that I could tell the difference between explicitly set and not set, but I don't actually care, because that makes this part easier. Okay. Okay, so now we're good. Okay, so this is going to be, we're going to pass in the key, we're going to pass in negative 3 times I times I plus 1, and then we'll have, actually, yeah, let's just handle it this way. This will be cleaner. Negative 3 times I 100 plus 3 times I. Okay. So the tick function will take a key and it will take 2 integer values. Okay, so now we'll just consider for x is min, x is less than or equal to max. No, it's just straight less than max. X plus for y is min, y is less than max, y plus, because I'm assuming this is square grid, but that's fine. Okay, so what we do is lookup starts as 0. And then we're going to, why am I not on Nano 60? That's because this is just Ubuntu 2004. So anyways, back to the problem, since I have now set a timer for myself that A9 is ticking down on. So let's see. We have for x offset is equal to -1, x offset is less than or equal to 1, x offset plus, and then we'll do that same thing for y as well. And then what we basically have is ret is make grid, and then return ret. So we have then ret chord xy equals key index lookup. Actually, no. If key index lookup, then equals true. That'll do. So what we have over here is g chord x plus x offset, y plus y offset. If that is true, then lookup plus plus. And we also will perform at the end of, let's see. Yeah, before this we do lookup, equals lookup, which shifted over by 1. Okay, that should do it. That seems reasonable. That's not correct. Okay, I'm going to run this on my test input first, then. Oh. Let's make sure that I'm doing this in the correct order. So at any given pixel, I have to look, starting from the top left, reading across each row. Yep, that's correct. So start here. Y, Y. XXX, XXX, okay. This feels correct. Okay, but we'll feed this in anyways. So this is my simple input. Alright, so we'll just paste this in here and we'll collapse this because it was collapsed for the sake of input reading. Yep, okay, so 35 pixels are lit. Okay, so in 15 minutes, I have something that works on the test input, but that doesn't work on my real input. So therefore, we have a subtle bug of some kind. So what if the problem is that I'm not expanding this space far enough? just try this, although I doubt that's the case. That might do it. Okay, now that I've expanded the borders a little bit more aggressively. That's still not correct. I don't have very many guesses left. This can only expand. This cannot expand that far. Like, I know that for my input, this is because the first value for all zeros, yeah, the first value for all zeros has a hash in it at the start. That's why this algorithm doesn't work. Yes, dark pixels exist everywhere. Okay, that was what the problem was. So the problem is that all pixels flash from dark to not and not dark to dark. Yeah, okay. So this is the problem. Okay, I understand. This will take me slightly longer than 20 minutes. But I do understand. I do understand what I did wrong here. So this number is not wrong. The problem is simply that a explicitly set value. How do I account for explicitly set values? That was sneaky, Eric, to make this thing always start with a hash and always end with a dot, because that makes this flat flicker back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, that's why it says be careful to account for the infinite size of the images. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, actually, is I'm going to handle this way. What we're going to do is we're actually going to explicitly set this. I can't take that shortcut I was hoping to. So we're going to do it this way. Okay, for k be in range values, if the set plus plus and we will set. Okay, I feel okay about this. Var set int, and now I no longer need the bounds because these are going to be is 100 plus 3 times I. That's still normal. And in fact, it's not even 3 times I. It's just it only can grow. The set of things that are not default set. It can only grow by 2 in a dimension at a time. Okay. And default fill is going to be whether I%2 is equal to 0. No, is equal to 1. Okay. if it is, if value set or not okay and default fill. I think that should do it. Let's try that. That's also not correct. What have I done wrong here? Oh, no, this was wrong. Because I starts off now as a positive integer. But now I'm locked out. So if value is set, or if value is not set, and the default fill, yeah, you probably made the same mistake I did, Narf. Fortunately, this one turns out to be possible to inspect and find out what you've done wrong. Let's see. Okay, so I have a problem here. Look, I'm going to count it as success that in the first 15 minutes I had something that worked on the sample input and I found the catch very fast. But why is this turning false? Oh. I need this essentially. That'll do it. That still is returning 0. Why? So if it doesn't find something... Oh. What if value is false? If value is false, then okay is true. Else if not okay, because we got the default, and what's the default fill? So let's just print this just to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Pretty sure this is just going to, this should be false, this should be false and then true. False and then true, yep, okay. What's the value of lookup every time now? Why is it always finding 511 now? Okay, so that's clearly wrong. So what have I done wrong here? What have I done wrong here? I'm traversing the correct order. I get the correct input for the test input. Let's just run it on the test. Oh, actually no, that's not correct because that'll this needs to be set to something else really fast. Let me just do this the silly way. If key 0 and key not key 255 or 511. Does this strip that correctly? Let's just make sure I still get the correct input for the normal case. Default fill equals false. Default fill equals I%2 is 0. Let's test that now. That yields 35, which is wrong now. Oh no, 35 is right. Okay. So now I have that working correctly. Okay. Yes, I'm still getting 0 set. Why am I getting 0 set? Okay, this is clearly something that is let's just check this. Okay, so every single one of these lookups is coming up 511 on the second pass. On the first pass, we have a good variety of numbers. So this does, yeah, I am actually reading the number and they're coming up set true. Why is this happening? And I'm reading the original grid. I'm not reading out of return by accident. What did I do wrong here? Like this logic works impeccable on the original input. So this gets, yeah. This winds up with the correct lookup table here. Yeah, I believe that. So the lookup table is correct on our input. We've got explicitly set values, and then we've got the unknown values that haven't been set yet, and that are part of the infinite thing. Hey, Joshua Wise. Okay, so let's try this. Let's just do this, just to make sure I understand this correctly. Not okay. That should be fine. Okay. Does this still yield 35? It does. This yields now 0. But this input looks nothing like... I have a really silly logic bug that I cannot figure out. Let's just make sure I have this. So... what am I doing wrong here? Okay, so it's... the fill starts off... okay, that was the problem, I think. I swear I entered 6473 earlier, did I not? I'll try it again, but... okay, I'm locked out for 5 minutes. So the first time that I run it, every single square starts off as blank. I'm going to rot 13 that. I have a annoyingly stupid bug that I know is... Let's change the names of these. Row and column. Row, column, row, column. Okay, so for row, 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 column, column, column. It is not a bug in my code. Okay, I'm convinced now that my ordering here is correct. Okay. But I know that the fill actually should start off as, on the first round, the fill is... the first round the fill is false, the second round the fill is true. Yeah, I have found the default fill. That is not my problem. My problem is that there is a bug in my code that is causing me to have nothing set now. So yeah, I appreciate the hint, but that is not where I'm stuck. The problem is that for some reason, on my second round of reading the input, what has happened is every single coordinate is coming up true, and not from the default fill. It's coming up here, which seems hard to believe, but let's check this. Yeah, right. Like I've got freaking 5875. Oh. What's going on here? Let's check this. Min and max. Yeah, I'm ranging from -2 to 102, and now I'm ranging from -4 to 104. And yet, not a single one of these values is being set because every single lookup value is resolving to 255. We're not mutating the grid in place, we're returning a brand new grid. Like, okay. Let's just check this. Oh, that's a good question. Is it 255 or 511? What does ret contain? Oh. Whoops. I started... I see my problem. This needs to be... I started explicitly setting it. I know what I did wrong. Okay. So I overestimated time by 2 because I spent 20 minutes chasing this stupid shit. Sorry for swearing on stream, but it's key lookup. Okay, that was my problem. There we go. That's correct. Okay. Freaking hell. Run it 50 times. So we'll just abstract this really quick. If I equals 2, values count. Right. Line 27 is wrong. Oh, this is just... Oh, I am now printing that way too many times. Because I don't need that debug output anymore. Okay. There we go. Wait, I still got under rank 1000? What the heck? How? This makes no sense. I cannot believe I got hung up on that. Because that one if statement was hanging there. I got stuck there for 20 minutes, and yet okay. Had I not had that stupid bug, A9, I assert that I could have solved this in 20 minutes. Like, this algorithm is not actually that challenging, in our professional opinion. Let's clean this up. So the problem was just this. I'm pretty sure this still returns the correct result. Yeah, okay. I'm glad you're in agreement that I solved this in 20 minutes. Yeah. Okay. This is definitely not a problem that requires OpenTelemetry tracing, so let's take the OTel out of this. Yeah, and the problem was not major grid versus minor grid. The problem was literally just forgetting that I had changed the meaning, that it was meaningful, that something was missing. The way I could have also fixed this was testing to see whether something was outside min or outside max. Yeah. No, I'm not creating spans for each iteration. That's not actually that meaningful, so. Okay, let's go ahead and format this and call it a day. Is there any other improvements I want to make to this? not really. Like, this basically does what it says in the tin. I guess I could make this, take in the size of the grid, I guess. I could take I could square root this to get the size and not hard code 100, but I can't be bothered to do that. Okay, yeah, this is good enough. Let's go ahead and commit it and raid someone else. Let's see how many people are with us now. Okay, yep, the top 1,000 just closed. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and take this over to someone else. Let's go ahead and say hi to, I think it's literally just Anthony Writes Code who's left, so we'll go say hi to him. All right, see you tomorrow, folks.